What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to Hungary for Success with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today, we're taking on Rostov in the Europa Conference League third qualifying round. Just the second leg, we've already played the first leg, and we're going to be taking on ensue in the league. It's not been many games since you were here last, but they've been important games. So we are going to jump into that now, but do make sure to like and subscribe. Makes a massive difference to the channel. So let's get into the episode. So we're finally out of pre-season. The last episode you saw us play against Zalgiris. We then went on to draw against Ferencváros, which, to be fair, we didn't really deserve to get the draw. They were a lot better than we were. We just got quite lucky with Monazimi scoring a goal. Then in the first leg against Rostov, in the second half, we just went mental. Versace boshed in a hat-trick. Tiefenbach scored as well from a header, which not something I've seen him do. And then we did well against Vasas, but we got very lucky. The fact we did actually win the game, because at one point it did look like we weren't going to. So the game against Rostov, important, but at the same time, we're 4-1 up and we were away from home last time. This is just a little bit more comfortable. If we don't completely capitulate in the second leg, we'll be taking on Vålerenga or Slavia Prague. Vålerenga are leading from the first leg. Actually didn't show you the league. You might want to see the league. That's relatively important. We're sitting fifth, 2 games in, a win and a draw. So we're doing quite well. Honvéd, Újpest and Vasas not having the best of times, to be fair. Still quite early on. I wouldn't worry too much about it. And our draw for the Hungarian Cup, like a third division central side, I think it is. Taxoni should relatively comfortably get past them, as long as I don't make an absolute hames of what I did, or I don't do what I did last year. I make an absolute balls of it. So we're starting with Hood Wagner in goal, Derlatka and Ongard as our wing backs. We've gone for wing backs now. We've changed it up a little bit. We're a good team now. Derek and Pushkash as our centre backs, with Vass and Tiefenbach as our centre midfield. Versace and Shedler as our wide men. Garate and Monazimi starting up front. We do have a couple of injuries / suspensions. Not just suspensions. Pirilescu is suspended. Everyone else who's registered is either not on the bench or on the bench. Karel Garbut made his debut not too long ago and was meh, is what I'd say. He was a bit meh. His debut was a bit beige. I'm going to point my finger and say, can't allow complacency to undo all the hard work we did in the first leg. Let's give the lads a bit of pump fists and faith. The reason Monazimi has been starting recently is Gabriel has been absolutely terrible. We're 5 minutes in, not a single shot. We have made a couple of tactical adjustments actually. I'll show you after this highlight. Vass hits the post and Pushkash can't get his header or his shot goalwards. So like I said, we've made a couple of tactical changes. We've gone more positive. We've not made any changes in possession. In transition, we're going for long kicks over the top. And in out of possession, normally I'm very attacking, or very high and high. Or much higher. Yeah, much higher and high. We're just going for higher and standard, so we can stop being done over the top. Because we don't have the fastest defenders in the world, but they're also not terrible. So we're just going to see how we go. When Karel Garbut starts, he is not the best defensively. So we're playing him as a complete wing back. Oh, Monazimi, it's offside. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He was way off. But it's fine. So when Karel Garbut starts at left back, or comes on at left back, we put him to a complete wing back, just so he can get up and down the wing a little bit more. And whoever plays at right back normally goes on wing back attack. So we'll be a little bit more aggressive going forward. Shedler has the ball taken off him quite nicely by the Rostov defender. I feel like we should probably try and get the guy who just got a shot, their centre back. I feel like we should try and get him sent off to make our lives just ever so slightly easier. Jano just walks past our defence. Absolute. That was far too easy. So Rostov have pulled one away goal back and made it 4-2. I don't want to watch it again because that was absolutely horrendous. We've given away a free kick to Jano. Well, not going to beat Hut Wagner. Hut Wagner is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, he says. Probably not. Versace having a very, very poor game today, which is very unlike him recently. He's been like the man. He's been the man, the myth, the legend. But he's been very quiet in this one. Derek misses his header. Does manage to get the ball clear, but only as far as a Rostov player. They get the ball across. And Glebov, I think he's got our number. I'm getting worried. I'm going to get shouty at halftime because we are playing terribly. Our average rating is 6.56. That's not what you want to see. Like, to be fair, the 4-1 result against Rostov was a surprise to say the least. But at the same time, I'd like to think that we're still capable of doing something against them at home as well. Like, we were away from home the last time. Hut Wagner showing off with his athleticism. Gets the ball forward, finds Garate. Vass. Vass. I might have to bring Ortiz on. Ortiz has been a little bit slow to start this season, and Hut Wagner does get a touch on that one to put it over. But yeah, Ortiz has been quite. See, that would be a foul corner because our player was up against him. We have managed to get the ball clear, and we're going to go in at halftime 2 down. I'm going to thrash my arms down, far from pleased. Monazimi. Terrible. Versace. Not happy with your performance so far. Derek. Also not happy with your performance so far. You've been shocking. Absolutely. Fast. I have faith in you. You can turn it around, buddy. I believe. We're not going to make any changes just yet. But I'm going to keep an eye on the old, players. Shedler gets it to the back post. Garate back of the net. Only his second of the season. 22 more goals and he'll equal what he did last season. I think it's a little bit early to be talking about that. Especially since was it Mameli? It's the other new target man I've signed. He had a pretty good game against Vassas in the last one, but he's not registered to play in Europe because we've had a bit of change to our team since since I arrived. I've kind of gone mental. I don't think there's many players left. Oh, Tyfenbach passes the ball to himself and then feels guilty and passes it back to the goalkeeper. There isn't many players in this team that were here when I arrived, so I kind of feel like that's my fault. And we haven't really had a good youth intake. Oh, that was a terrible pass by the Rostov player. Garate picks it up. Shedler has Monazimi ahead of him. Decides to go alone. And Monazimi's not having a great game. So I can kind of understand why he do that. Versace, what are you doing? Versace's playing a 6.1. We're going to have to take him off. Monazimi, who still hasn't learned Hungarian. Shedler. A relatively comfortable save for their goalkeeper. Not super comfortable, but comfortable enough that I'd be like, I don't know. Not the most difficult save to make in the world. Their keeper does get there before Monazimi. What is his highlight? We have the ball again. Vass gets it to Versace. Can he do something? Gets the ball to Garate. Gets the ball back. Monazimi gets the ball taken off him. And the highlight drifts away. We're going to make changes. Versace, you're not playing very well, so we're going to bring on Zoigber. That's an inverted winger. Gabriel is going to come on for Monazimi. And Derek looks like he's the one that's going to be coming off at some point because he has been absolutely horrendous so far. As long as we don't concede 2 more, we are fine. Right. 10 minutes left. They've got more defensive. Interesting. Wonder if that'll work for them. Markella, who's actually, to be fair, probably been our best centre back so far. Schindler, you can just see the rest of the game out. To be fair, Schindler's had a decent game. We do scrape through 5-3. I'm not going to say I want them for training because they'll be absolutely shattered if I do that. We're playing so many games already at the start of the season. It's been mental. So that's 2, 4, 6 European games, and we've played 2 league games. So we've already played 8 games this season. It's been a busy start to the year. How did Valorenga, Slavia Prague, and so Valorenga went through because of a 93rd minute equaliser in the game and winner overall. So we're playing Valorenga in the next round. Should be an old interesting game. At home for the first leg, and we got 83k. That's actually quite nice. We're at that stage where I think finance wise we're doing okay, but we do tend to lose a lot of money before the end of the year. As it is right now, we're actually not going to be that much in debt. So I'm hoping we can kind of just keep this going. So we will be back in just a second for the game against Dioscuri. Don't go anywhere. Should be a fantastic game. Hopefully we score many goals. So it's time now for Dioscuri. Results have been interesting recently. Ferencváros drew with MTK in their last game. The 2 new teams that have been promoted, not having a great time. Not having a great time at all. So we are going to go into this one with minimal changes. Perelescu comes back in at right back. Versace moves over to the left for, I think, the first time, because Schedler is a little bit tired. Zogber is going to start at right wing, and Mamoli comes in because Monazimi wasn't the best in the last one, and Gabriel is injured. Other than that, we don't have any major changes. I'm trying to loan Burzy out because I just realised he only played 4 games last season. Well, 5, but he played 4 league games. Wasn't great. So we're just going to see if we can quietly remove him from the first team. Mamoli is going to play as the advanced forward, even though he was brought in to be a target man or a second striker. We played him as an advanced forward for a bit of the game against Vass, and he scored twice. So I'm kind of hoping that he can just pop in and be like, hey, I can do this again. Not a bother. I'm expecting a win from you tonight, boys. Nope. Okay, nobody cares. I'm going to point my finger at all of them and be like, hey, it's more of the same from the strikers. Garate is quite happy with that. I'm hoping we don't have to bring on Schedler, because I would like to give him a bit of a rest. Everyone else has been... It's fine. So we're just going to see how that goes. We're coming close to... I think we're about a month away from the end of the transfer window. Versace with the ball across. Zoigber scores for us within 10 minutes. He's played a couple of games so far this year. It's not been amazing, but at the same time, not going to worry about it. It's fine. When he was here last, he was very much a bench option. Kind of continuing that trend, but I'm trying to get rid of some of the older players in the team, even though we don't have many old players. I think our oldest player in the squad is 28, 29 maybe. So we're not ancient in any way, shape or form. But I think our average age is 21, which, this wasn't technically meant to be a youth save. It was just more kind of a road to glory. But we've ended up with quite the young squad, but at the same time, that is just what I do in FM. Sometimes to our detriment. Sometimes that doesn't go exceptionally well. We end up with very interesting teams and struggling for some years during our experimental phase. But we're doing well so far. Zoidberg almost puts the ball in the back of the net again. Fortunately, he puts this one just ever so slightly over the bar. As it is right now, Dischiori would drop to 11th with a negative 4 goal difference, and it will put us top of the league. Fervor do have to play a game again. Well, it's against Mishkoved, so that should be a difficult game for both teams. I wouldn't expect either of them to walk that, although Mishkoved did have a very poor season last year. I'm going to thrash my arms and say I'm far from pleased with what's happened so far. Typhonback, I believe in you. I've got faith in you, buddy. Mamoli, I've got faith in you too. So we're going out hoping that we can do something different in this half. Typhonback potentially is going to come off for Ortiz. Zoidberg, he looked offside, but clearly he's not. Versace gets it down to Garate, but unfortunately his shot is blocked by one of the Dischiori defenders. Versace can't get onto the ball that was punted up at him. It says that Mishkoved maybe, or they kicked off early, didn't they? I think they kicked off at like past, or we kicked off past. They kicked off at 6. What? That's never a penalty. On guard. That is such a. Babadi steps up to take a penalty, and Hood Wagner unfortunately can't save this one. My mic is ever so slightly in the way of that section of my screen. That's really disappointing that we've given away such a soft penalty. And Mishkoved beating Fervor. Right, we're making a change. It says to take off Ortiz. Or to take off Vass for Ortiz. I'm going to take off Typhonback and put Ortiz as the box-to-box because that's his position. Momoli's having a poor game. So we're going to bring on Monazimi. Pushkash is having a very less than ideal game. I might just start Markella in the next couple of games and see what happens, because Pushkash has been relatively good, but he's also just been a little bit meh in some games. So we're going to bring on Markella. We're going to go attacking. And we're just going to get everyone a little bit further forward. I'm going to run at the defense to be more expressive. Because I feel like we're building a team that can actually do football things. And I like being able to do football things. They're saying that Versace should be taken off for Shedler. I'm going to berate the players because we're not doing well enough. I thought this was going to be a walk in the park. I thought this was going to be such an easy game. This is why I picked this one to show you. And we're going to draw. Drawn against Dischiori. Hands and hips, not happy with the performance out there. To be fair, Vass ended up playing horrendously when we put him to Mazzella. Nobody had a good game, really. We're still unbeaten after 3 games. That's fine. I'll take it. Vass is on the verge of a pay increase. That's completely fine. Next episode, we're going to come back for Valerenga and Honved. So hopefully we'll have the Europa Conference League rounded up, because after this round, it's the group stage. And who doesn't love getting into group stage? I would absolutely adore it. We would get money for qualifying for the group stage as well, which would be quite nice, because we could, it's nothing better than building up your bank account. So yeah, we're hopefully in the not too distant future we can kind of start pushing forward a bit more, but I do want to show every kind of Europa Conference League game, because this is our first time in Europe. So it'll be Valerenga and Honved in the next episode. But if you have enjoyed this one, do make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Share with all of your friends, and I will see you